Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for December 26th, 2022 through January 1st, 2023. So before we begin, I just want to wish you all a very warm welcome, and hopefully that are having a beautiful time of holiday celebrations and with your loved ones. And this reading will also mark the beginning of a new year. And so if you're new to the Angelic Wisdom community, I extend a beautiful and peaceful welcome to you as well. And to all of you, a beautiful and prosperous, happy new year in 2023. So I'm likely, at the time I'm recording this, I haven't left yet, so I'm recording this in advance, but I will likely also be away for the holidays. And so I will be returning with the daily card messages probably after the first week or two into the new year, and my readings. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you do that now. Select the all notification bell. Also, like and leave comments as you're especially sharing your wisdom, sharing your love, and your kindness and your reflections, especially upon the readings, because we never know who may be watching, and reading through the comments might add some additional support. And this is a very difficult time. It's a happy time for many, but it's also a very troubling time for others. And I hope that any of you who are listening and your heart is burdened, or that you feel alone during this holiday season, that you know that you are loved. And I will be praying for you, and I encourage everyone else to pray for others as well here. And so if anyone is needing prayer, I would ask that those of us who are watching also pray for those who might leave an indication that they are in need of prayer and support at this time. And the angels are right in front of me, congregation. So in the sense that community of angelic support, we're calling on that congregation of support and compassion to pray for anyone who's asking for prayer or healing. Okay? And so let's take a deep breath together. And let us pray as we call upon our guardians of light, these great, powerful beings. And they're writing that, asking you to call on all levels of guardians. There are many guardians of light who oversee different aspects of our lives and our world and our universe. And they're asking you to call upon all levels of the guardians of light, the protectors, the overseers, and also God, who is coming in, and he's shining his light like a sun, a brilliant sun, a pure white crystalline light. And know that when you call upon these guardians, that the light of God is shining through them, empowering, amplifying their unique talents of light that he has given each and every one of them at a very high frequency of love. And he's writing, they carry the diamond light, a large diamond light of unconditional love. And he's asking you to think of him as your shepherd at this time. And I know that word might have different connotations for different people, but out of the greatest respect, it is offered. And he's offering this to each and every one of you now. When you call upon these guardians of light, that they will place this high frequency diamond light over you and around you. And so with your intention, call upon them now to place this diamond light all around you. And this diamond light, the multifacets of this light, has the ability to cut, he's saying, through any bonds that are holding you back, that are limiting your light, limiting you feeling loved and supported, tearing away at all of these ego facades about our image, about our beauty and what represents that. It has the power to cut away all limitations, even within your finances, within your karma. And he's even writing the word plasma. So it has the ability to heal on a physical level and bring peace, to flood you with peace. This is what is being written in front of me. To help you to feel nourished, to help you to feel safe, and to attract to you the nourishment, the things that will nurture abundance in your well-being and in your life. Now, it seems that it doesn't make sense how this etheric light frequency, this diamond light, can shift and create changes in the physical realm. But everything that we see is an extension of this energy, this light, this frequency of light. The keys that he's writing that are encoded within this light give life to creation, whether it be through the plants, the earth, or your ideas that innovate physical manifestations. And your ability to feel safe, these keys of light help to soothe your fears and start to create a perspective of peace. And remember, what I meant by peace is about a perception of reality. One where you feel safe in yourself, in your soul, deep in your soul. Even though things are happening, you still feel peace within your soul. So just breathe in this beautiful diamond light, helping to make everything crystal clear, cutting through the confusion, cutting through any illusions. Clearing up misunderstandings and misinterpretations. Helping you to not look for blame, but rather understanding. It's a huge difference. Often we look for something to blame, a reason for why something has gone wrong, instead of an understanding of why things are unfolding as they need to in order for you to spiritually develop and grow. The journey, all activity, all events on your timeline is the journey itself, leading you towards your prayers, prepping you, getting you in readiness for what you've prayed for and what you deserve. And he's writing, this is not a guessing game. You don't need to guess. Nothing, your life is not so insignificant that the universe would gamble with your life. Everything has a purpose and a reason, and it is calculated according to your heart. But the thing is the intriguing thing they're writing is that we have free will. So we're always choosing whether we try to deny, ignore, or do nothing. We're still making decisions. And then those calculations have to be recalibrated with your journey in mind. And it is carefully, as they're writing in front of me, watching over every facet of your being and its movements and thoughts and beliefs. And is this like quantum computer able to keep you moving in the direction of your journey, your life's purpose? And without judgment, these calculations are made. Without judgment, without one hiccup of judgment, it is just continuing to recalibrate to help you to fulfill your journey. It's always supporting you, even at the worst moments of our lives, at the despair in our thoughts that often arise and overwhelm and distort all clarity, even then you're being helped. Without judgment, without criticism, without classifying something as right or wrong or good or bad. This book does not exist. So they ask you to remember to call upon them for this kind of loving support. And when you feel as though everything, the lens they're writing, that your lens is too foggy, that you can't quite see or understand, to call upon the guardians of light, and they will pour over you this diamond light that will help cut through any issues that you're having or the cause of those issues that are creating the blocks within you, that is preventing you from feeling the support of your journey, from understanding your journey, and from appreciating your journey. All right, so let's take a look at the Archangel for this week. And it's Archangel Muriel again. And Archangel Muriel is the Archangel of love, harmony, and compassion. And it's always interesting that the angels speak about trust so often. Trust your wisdom. He's the angel also, you want to say, of the empathic, the mystical, our intuition and insights. And it says, have faith in your psychic impressions. And this is so important. And many of us have been shamed because of our psychic impressions, some may have called it sensitivity over our early years of our lives. People may say, oh, you're too sensitive. You're not too sensitive. You're tuned in. And you have to trust it. And I know what you know, what I mean when I say this, because I've been there. And there have been so many times when I'm in a struggle with my intuition. I know what it's telling me, but I can't get out of that compulsory pattern that always just draws me in, which causes you and I and all others to feel like we can't trust ourselves. We can't trust what we're feeling in that moment, what we know to be true in that moment. Maybe somebody in your life is asking you to do something and you know that there's something there, something's telling you this is not the right path for you, or not to get drawn into what that person is trying to attempt you into. But we have to learn to trust. And this is because we've told ourselves and we've allowed others to tell us that we're too sensitive, that your thoughts, that your impressions are not accurate. And so now, on your journey, you can't trust the journey because you can't trust your abilities, your gifts. Your intuition is expressed also through your creative talents and gifts. And it often, what has happened is you may have found yourself, and you're right, that they have this realization where you find your intuition is true after the fact, after you did not go, after you did not trust it, because there was just something telling you, but maybe this time it's different, or maybe, maybe, or no, you're being a little, maybe, no, you're overthinking it. And so now it's like you're behind yourself. It's like you're behind your intuition, and you only acknowledge it after you've ignored it. And it feels safer to be on that side of it than to be on the front end of it. That like gives me the impression of the fool, like where you're about to jump off the cliff. You're not willing to sort of step first into the unknown and then learn how your intuition is working. There's a lot about our intuition that's not always just crystal clear for a reason, because it's not trying to take away your ability to make decisions for yourself that are right. It's actually trying to be integrated with your free will choice. It doesn't want to take over. And this is the reason why so many of us have difficulty trusting our intuition. Because we're looking for our intuition to tell us what to do. And I think many people get the wrong impression about readings and readers. I mean, most of my clients, I can say 99% of my clients do not come to me to tell them what to do. They've come seeking understanding about who they are in this moment, or understanding about what's unfolding in this moment within them and in their lives. Because the angels aren't here and your intuition isn't in place so that you can just blindly follow. It's not there to dictate the journey for you. It's there to help you to discern the right choice for you. And when you say the right choice, it's not like we don't mean it's the only choice. It's just the one that's right for you, right where you are, what you're ready for. And this can get better. So you might be thinking, anticipating you want this. And this, from where you are right now, might not be you might not be ready for it right now, the full on of that experience, or it may not be how it's going to really develop and shape into your life. But it doesn't mean that that direction is wrong. It means that you are open to what's possible. But your intuition, or what you discover is right for you, the choice that you make is leading you. Every choice you make is leading you on your journey. But we have to be open to how it's going to be shaped in our life. So getting it right isn't about getting it right isn't about being accurate. Getting it right is about trusting yourself, trusting your knowing, trusting that that decision you made in that moment was right. It's going to be right, even in hindsight. You're never going to cross-examine it and say, I shouldn't have done that. Because that's not intuition. Because that's not what it's there for. It's not there to say, for you to say, doggone it, I made the wrong mistake. Because, well, that didn't happen. You made the right choice. Good example, 10 years ago, in 2011 rather, so it's probably 11 years ago, I had a vision in a healing workshop, and my visions are not in colors like you see, like those films, what they call them, the old reels, the negatives. And sometimes I may see in color, but very rarely. And I'll just talk about that in another video. But the thing is that this one I had full color. I saw myself physically fit, buffed, like I'd never seen that guy in my life, but I knew it was me. But there was nothing around me but white light. And it led me to taking better care of my health. That was the journey. Now, 10 years, because it was a 10 years into the future, I did reach not the full effect of that goal, but I was the most fit I've ever been. Did I get all ripped? No. But I learned so many important things about the possibility of what I could feel. And so the symbolism in it, I feel that kind of strength. My spirit feels that kind of strength. And I look better as well. But at first I was thinking, oh, I've messed up. I didn't reach that goal. I'm off. That was not the point of the vision. It was to lead me. It basically gave me a template for the journey that I was to take. But how it shaped out, it's not all about the outer shell of what I saw. There are layers: emotional, mental health, spiritual well-being, as well as the physical well-being. And so I'm so sorry about this clearing of the throat. But it's important that we understand that, and let me just shift the light a little bit here. Hold on. It's important that we understand that our visions, our intuition, we have to trust them. We have to trust that they show up, that our ideas, they come to us as intuition for a reason. They inspire a journey. They inspire a journey. And in that understanding is that they are not dictating the journey, but inspiring a journey, making a pathway available to you, for you to make all the choices about how it will unfold. But once you're inspired, you're propelled into action. Your reality starts to transform, to transmute, to take shape. That is the reason for your intuition. Like a star in the sky, it was a guide. We call it divine guidance, not divine mandates. So stop beating up your intuition and yourself and embrace the inspiration. The fool has no idea where he's going. You can see it on his face. He's just happy and full of light, full of hope, full of purpose, but he doesn't know what it is. But he knows in the moment he must act. And those feelings are telling him how to act. And he's going to make choices when a real hard, cold, like when an event kind of just pops up, he will be ready to make that choice out of that inspiration. But when we play this game, if I'm not right, if it's not accurate, then everything has gone to hell, and I'm the dumbest person in the world, and I'm not moving another inch because I don't know what to do. Well, you're throwing it all away. You're throwing away the universal technology of free will. You're just dismantling it because you want to be told what to do, and that's not what you're here for. All right, let's take a look at the cards. This is interesting. The Chariot card. And it's interesting because there's stars here, and he's soaring through the sky, and this beautiful starry sky, and being led by these two birds, which usually are sort of yin and yang, right? And what that tells us is about that right there, then and there. This is a card usually of focus, determination, of will. You know, someone who has ambition, they have a goal, they have a purpose in mind, and they're moving in the right direction, or they're moving in a direction because they're no longer, there's no doubt within them. It's all action oriented. But it tells us with these opposing views here that there are possibilities, options. There's no one right way to get anywhere. And that's why you see the one Sphinx that's black and the other one's white, because they represent this neutral. First of all, they represent the neutrality of the universe. The dark and the light, the positive, the negative. This is all neutrality. Choice. It's the spectrum. It is really inherent in the symbolism, free will. There's no one right way. There's no wrong way. There's no right way to get somewhere. There is only purpose. And you trusting your intuition and trusting the universe to guide you, to inspire you. This is why many people do not understand when they're praying. They say, God is not speaking to me, because you don't understand what the language that God uses. God guides with the voice of inspiration. That is his language. He's not dictating your future, because he is watching over every aspect. You are safe because you are within his mind and heart. You are within the world that is God. God is the world and you are within it, so you are always safe. The gift he's given is for you to choose and to have fun and experience pleasure while doing it. But to experience, you're going to experience suffering and pleasure. But the thing is, for the reason that you get to be inspired by it all, and you get to choose from based on it all. Your life is coming out of every inspired moment. Your life is coming out of your journey. And I can tell you, as someone who has experienced the worst and the best, all of it, all that inspires you is coming out of your journey. The whole of you, the good and the bad, the unconditional perspective, this unconditional perspective is what will help you to stay in alignment with your journey. And this card keeps coming up a lot for us. This 10 of Swords. Hey, they know. They know you're trying. They know you're trying to get, they know you're trying to break free. of this karmic cycle, this mental cycle of not believing in yourself. They know that you keep experiencing pain and suffering. They know that you're trying really, really hard. And you feel like you're getting knocked down, but you're not. Every time you get knocked down, you grow. You learn something new about yourself. It feels like your heart's breaking. You know why? Because your heart's expanding. And every time it expands, it breaks the mold of the previous heart shell that you had. So yes, heartbreak is just another sign that your love is getting bigger, is expanding. Your energy is growing. Your light energy is growing. You are the diamond light, your soul and all souls, because all of this light comes from the source, God. And this is how it supports you, by infusing you with more light. And it breaks your heart shell, breaks your heart. And then you heal. It's like having a surgery. The wounds heal, and your body, your skin, and the bones grow back together, and they learn to feel seamless with you again. And then you can move with the least amount of disturbance or uncomfortable or pain. And eventually you don't think about it. Of course, sometimes the pain comes like in the weather, but that's just a reminder, but it's not happening. You're not being broken again. You're not being broken again, meaning you're not being broken in the same way. Even if you have a string of relationships and you always get your heart broken, poor thing. It's not the same break, because the expansion is greater each time. You have more wisdom. You have, and you don't know it because you don't share it. You want to really heal. You really want to understand the reason for everything. Take your pain out into the world and start talking to people who are suffering the way you're suffering. Help guide them, and you will see the incredible strength that you have come into possession of. You are wealthier than you were ever before. And when you acknowledge this, and the only way that you can is when you lift somebody up who's going through what you're going through. I saw my mother do it so many times. And that's why she was so much stronger, and she was visibly stronger, because she just kept helping the way God helped her, she would say. And that's how you overcome. That's how you get out of that space that's dragging you down. And that's how you see yourself and experience yourself through that light. Okay, hey, we're being caged in by this star energy, this healing energy. And what I'm just so seriously getting here is something about this dynamic is being confronted right now. I don't want you to suffer. I don't want to suffer either. But if we are finding ourselves that it's a little tougher this time, or I see the word fighting as if to say you feel like you're fighting, having to fight harder this time, there is a healing purpose focusing in on you stronger than ever before. I see the word expression, and it gives me a sense if you start expressing this, transmute your pain through creative expression, or just sharing, like we used to say in my church, just share the good word, meaning share your faith, share your story, uplift another. You're going to have a freedom from this situation. Because when I share my story with people, my friends, and I have a breakthrough. I get to see, it's like I get to see it through their eyes. That's how I get to see myself and be liberated from those things that within me have oppressed me. The thoughts that I have chosen to believe. We all choose what we believe, no matter what influences impacted us. It is still our choice to believe it, and it's not your fault because you do. But when life offers you opportunities to understand, take it. Take it. Even if it's tough. So instead of fighting it, resisting it through anger or whatever it is, be present with it. Have the courage to really share and be a witness. Through that sharing, be a witness. Don't sit alone. Call someone. Talk to someone. If you see somebody else, even though you might be at your lowest, you see somebody else at their lowest, talk to them, because you can relate to them in that moment clearer than anybody else. And you both will be healed. You both will be uplifted, inspired in that moment. This is a card of hope, of inspiration, of healing. You know, and so what this is saying is if you trust your intuition now, you will find your journey. And you will find your journey, your journey towards wholeness. All right, let's take a look at the card I've already pulled from the bottom of the deck. And it's the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is sort of suggesting here that you're someone who has many abilities. And the Queen of Wands is someone who, and I almost want to say, of all the court cards, and it's interesting that it comes in this energy of the female here, but the most balanced. Because she, to me, in the traditional, her posture, she's the only woman who sits with her legs open. She sits sort of like all the men are doing. I always think of her, I always think of that commercial from the 80s. I could bring home the bacon and fried up in pan. Like she could do, it was that movement where women were saying, yes, I can do this and I can do this. I can work a full-time job and I can come home and do this. Although everybody can come home and do that, right? Not just her. But at that time, because of how things were perceived, and I see her as this, and one as an energy of a person who can do it all. She's gifted, multi-talented, a multitasker. She is someone who inspires others. And this card really clarifies that someone who nurtures others in terms of being a powerful leader. She can nurture other people's talents. She knows how to bring the best out of them, to say the right thing to them. But I see her as someone who gets in there. Not someone who sits, to me, like maybe the king, and this is my opinion right now, but the King of Wands is someone I see who's on the stage. He's, under the spotlight, and he's in speaking to crowds. He's inspiring. But we all know, just like, in a sense, my work with you is remote. But it's not like those people in our lives who get in there with us, right? Who get in the grind, who stand in the grind with us and lift us up and push us forward and point us in the right directions. And the angels are saying, you want to see just how powerful your light is? Do this. And if you can't, reach out to someone who can do this for you so that you can do this for someone else. But trust your intuition. Do not say that I am unworthy of what I am inspired to do, because your journey will appear to be standing still. And that will frustrate the hell out of you. That is the reason for our misery, because we're telling ourselves what we can't do all day long. And our intuition is telling us, yes, you can. It's inspiring you. It's showing you things that are possible. And it hurts like hell, because you have limited yourself so profoundly that you can't move, but you want to move. And that's suffering. That's misery. And you can break this cycle of self-sabotage. Again, during this holiday season, don't allow yourself, we can talk ourselves out of receiving love from others because we don't want to go through XYZ. Don't let your fears talk you into isolation and keep you from feeling love. It's okay to need someone to hold you. It's okay to need someone to just be there for you. If you need to sleep over at a friend's house, ask them. Don't be by yourself. Don't keep thinking you need to do it all alone. As I said in the last week's video, our independence is dependent upon our interdependence. That's oneness. And any other thought process in your head that's trying to resign you to isolation, that's the ego. That's fear. And that, if your heart is breaking with loneliness right now, breaking, remember what I said about that heartbreak? The world is feeling, everybody is feeling lonely, even with people in their lives. And the reason for that is because our world has created this illusion that we don't need anybody and that you got to do it by yourself and get it for yourself and get there before somebody else takes it from you. And this is breaking our hearts. And our hearts are expanding because it's remembering that it needs to reach out now. Reach out and embrace one another with love, with compassion. That we need to have more time with each other. We need to say we love each other more. We need to hold each other more. We need to get together. We need to gather with our friends more, with our loved ones more, with our tribe, our soul tribes more. Segregation, no. No. Oneness, yes, yes. And we have to create these cells, realities of oneness in our lives again. So stop moving away from people and start moving towards them. Run towards people. Run towards love. Stop judging. Get rid of your lists about what's the perfect person in your life. Love and be loved. And remember, because we've been teaching ourselves separation as a whole society, the system has created this. It's going to take time. You know, you're never going to find in that mentality, that damagedness, how are we going to find the person that we truly love, and that loves us? When we hate the idea, and this is awful what is said, but we don't even trust love anymore. We don't trust. We become so comfortable in our isolation that we don't even know how to touch somebody else, or to reach out to somebody else, or to trust somebody else, or trust ourselves. That's what it's all boiling down to, trusting yourself. So when you learn to trust yourself, you begin the healing that allows things that you desire to come to you again. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful, happy New Year's celebration and a happy New Year.